you could use like a brainwave entrainment.
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock-solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Hugh. So I have a question from a trader, and this trader has done his work with the backtesting, and he's verified his strategy. He really likes it. It matches his personality. Everything looks really good. And now he's thinking, or he's at that phase now. He wants to go live, and he wants to trade live. Okay, he's done the homework. He's ready to go live, but he's running into issues with the psychology of undertaking risk and trading these live trades, which of course take longer to unfold than in a simulator, and are completely different. No matter how little you're risking, it's still money. And so the question is, what do I do for my psychology now that I'm switching gears from backtesting mode to live mode? So what are your thoughts around that?
My thought would be just to start small. I mean, I don't think there's any other way around it. You just have to jump in there somehow, and starting small would be the best way. Use some nano lots if possible, or just use like micro lots on a MT4 account or MT5 account, and kind of go from there. What do you think?
So I would write out a lot of stuff. So I like to write out thoughts about trading, and I like to write out the actual trade stuff. So I have two separate journals, and yeah, they're right here actually. So, and the other part of this, so there's a couple of things to look at. One is, how well are you executing? And that should be in your trade record journal. And what you want to do is you want to put all of your focus on the execution, and kind of, I know it's hard, but disregard the results, and make sure that you're doing what you were doing in your backtesting as closely as possible. I would also work on things like, what is my mindset? What kind of state am I in when I'm looking at the charts? You don't want to get into like revenge trading or over trading or things like that. So you could use like a brainwave entrainment before you look at the charts. You can also do that when you're thinking of changing something, like let's say you're in a trade. Let's say I take a trade, I buy, and then it's down 78%, and it's been down 78% for 2.5 days. I haven't been stopped out, but I haven't really seen anything that's telling me the trade's going to come good. So I'm thinking about, pulling the plug on the trade. However, in my backtesting, I never did that, right? So all of my numbers are associated with a strategy where I let it go. Either it's going to hit my stop or it's going to come good. And so if you're thinking about pulling the plug on that because it's a live trade now, you're actually trading a different strategy, right? So that's another thing you do is you could put yourself in a good brainwave state, such as theta or alpha, while you're making trading decisions. So it's kind of like a routine where you would listen to the brainwave entrainment, then look at the charts, then make your decisions, sort of thing. So that can be really useful too. And have something that whether it's hypnosis or you can do something. I like subliminals, hypnosis, but something that you're actually keeping your mind fed with good thoughts about your trading and about your abilities. And because what sometimes happens, especially during a losing streak, is we start overthinking things and we start catastrophic thinking and extrapolating these results out and talking about, in our head, why this isn't going to work and why it's never worked. And, oh no, here it comes again, that sort of thing. So I would also look at maybe augmenting your life, whether it's just playing subliminals when you're sleeping or listening to a hypnosis track every day or whatever. But there are a lot of things you can do to kind of fine tune your execution and your approach, like your beliefs about your abilities. So those are the two areas. Yeah, those are the two areas I would focus on. And there's a lot out there for people who are interested in that stuff. In fact, most people listening to this podcast are probably already interested in that stuff, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
We have some stuff listed on the Think Profit website. But have you heard of this one where you talk into the microphone on your phone, and then there's a software that analyzes your voice, and then it creates these tones that will kind of make up, I guess, for whatever you're working on? It's interesting.
Yeah, that's a very interesting concept. I did hear of an interview, and this was probably 12 years ago, 11 years ago, something like that.
Hmm.
And there was a woman, I think in Tennessee or somewhere in the South. It's a similar idea. I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's very similar. She would do a voice analysis.
Hmm.
So you would send her like a recording of your voice, and then, or you may have had to come in to see her. I don't know, because this was back, in like 2010 or something. So it was like, I don't know how good recording software was, sending voice messages through the internet. I don't know, but anyway, she would take a recording of your voice somehow, and she would analyze it and basically know what was going on with your body. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So it was like a diagnostic tool, and I think that the prescribed treatment was exactly what you were saying. Right. I could be wrong on this bit, but I do know that she was listening to voice and she was like, okay, this is like, this is telling me that your liver is out of whack or whatever
Hmm.
based on your recording. And then I think that's what she would do, was actually the prescription was tones, back,
Mm.
it's so interesting. So it's kind of a similar thing, but yours is yours more of a psychology approach? Is that what that is? Or is
Yeah,
it,
yeah. It's more for like you say a affirmation that you want to have into the microphone, and
oh,
then it'll
right.
give you these tones, and they're weird tones. Like one will be really high, and then it'll stop for like a few seconds. The next one will be really low, and I tried it, and it does give me a boost, like mentally. Like
Really?
I can focus better. Yeah,
Hey, put that in the link. That sounds awesome. Can you put it in the?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
it's an app, right?
Yeah. It's an app. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Can you? Yeah, that would be great if we could see that in the. That's really interesting. I like that idea. That's something I'm going to play with. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All
That's
right.
awesome. Yeah. So yeah, tools like that, I guess, is what we're saying, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Try
that's
something
yeah.
at least, right?
Yeah, to get it to get, get you, because you don't want to wait for the time when things are bad and that you're in a losing streak to start pulling these tools out, right? What you want to do is kind of like, it's kind of like, you don't have to wait until you get cancer to start eating good, right?
Mhm.
Like eat good first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Preventative is the way. Yeah. So, okay.
Okay,
Thanks, Hugh.
cool. Thanks, Walter.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.